Hi, I'm John Buckheit, back with another Fire Engineering Training Minutes, and just want to take one last look at these glass and metal doors with the focus on the glass. It's always tempting to try and take this glass. Sometimes you can get in trouble. All glass is not the same. Some of it's really going to give you a hard time. But Timmy's going to come in and he's going to demonstrate the proper way if you were going to take the glass. We want to make sure that we use the reach of the tool, and we want to always swing so that we're not going to have any chance of our arm following through and getting possibly lacerated or getting into trouble with that glass. Once the glass is taken, we're going to take out that center bar so that we make it into a true egress, and it usually goes pretty easily, and then we can have access through that door. But we're going to go take a look. We're going to go break some different types of glass, and you'll see some of the pitfalls of saying, oh, I'm always going to just go through that glass. We're going to take a look at some different types of glass, and the problem with glass for the fire service is we're all familiar with glass, but we don't really know all the different types that are out there, and they all behave somewhat differently, and they're going to give you some trouble. Years ago we had simple single pane windows. They used to fail when the fire got next to them. They got hot. They used to show the fire. We used to vent. We would crawl in. A simple smack with your helmet or your flashlight took those windows out. Now we have thermal pane windows, much harder to take with even a halogen. Really looking to convince you guys that maybe you want to force a window rather than break a window, and certainly even more so with the commercial occupancies. So Timmy's going to come in now. He's going to try to break this piece. This is really can't tell from looking at the front, but from the side I can tell it's a thin laminate, and we're going to see some of the problems that a laminate will give a firefighter who's going to try and vent through that. Go ahead, Timmy, give it a shot. So you see what happens with the laminate. The whole window doesn't fail. It traps the tool. And if he was going to try and get through a storefront door, that thin laminate like we have here, it's going to require him to chisel his way through that door. It's going to create a lot of glass dust. If you breathe it in, you get it in your eyes, you're in trouble. And it's really a pain. And from the front side, this doesn't look any different than a single pane piece of glass. So maybe you want to force that door or force that window rather than break that. Next, we're going to show you another type of glass. We have another type of glass. It looks the same as the first one that we had, but it's not laminated. And if you remember, Timmy came in, he hit it pretty hard with that thin laminate. It trapped his tool. Let's say now this is his next fire. He remembers that experience, so he's going to come in and give this a real good shot, and let's see what happens when he does. Go ahead, Timmy, give it a shot. So while both look the same, completely different reaction. And the problem with that safety glass is if the last glass you encountered was plate glass or thick laminate, and now you're going to go after this tempered glass, you're going to create a bomb of fragments. Don't underestimate the hazard with this glass as well. It does break into what they call dicing kernels. It's not really that sharp, but the glass can also be quite heavy. We had a fellow who took a large showcase window. It fractured. It was safety glass, tempered glass. It came down though as a single piece and actually fractured his toe and gave him a fair laceration as well. So it could be heavy in large pieces. Next, we're going to take a look at another type of glass. We have another type of glass. This is a thicker laminate. It again, no visible difference from the front. Timmy's going to come in now and he's going to give this a shot. His last fire, he had the tempered glass and it exploded all over everyone. So he's going to come in and go a little easier, and let's see what he encounters with this. Give it a shot, Timmy. Give it a shot, Timmy. Now, if this was plate glass, It would have even given him a harder time. He might have had to go with all his might to get through the plate glass. As it was a double laminate, and it really gave him a hard time. You could imagine, if you can think back to our storefront door, if he elected to go that route, it would have really given him a lot of trouble. So let's try to avoid taking the glass as the easy route. There might be times when absolutely that's the way to go, but I wouldn't say that it's your first option. We have one more glass that we're going to take a look at next. We're back again with another type of glass. This is a wired-in glass, which obviously you can see that it's different. You'll find it sometimes it's for security purposes, which is something to think about. Now, you know that you're getting into an area that may present a problem as far as your own egress if you need to. It also might be in place because it's required by fire code. It might have an occupancy that has a large fire load. It's near another building. So you might want to think about whether you really should be taking this window. But we're going to take a shot at it. Timmy's going to take a shot at it. We're going to see how it behaves. And it'll be one more example that the glass is not all the same type of material. It's all engineered differently. It's going to behave differently. Go ahead, Timmy. Let's see what happens. Didn't give him too much trouble, but I think if he wanted to clear the glass to make an egress via portable ladder or tower ladder bucket, or if he was looking for a vent, he might have been a lot easier to try and force this window off its track and get in that way. So it's another example of how this glass can actually, give us a lot of trouble if we're not really aware of what we're getting into. The numerous injuries over the years with glass. Like we stated earlier, try to use the reach of the tool, try not to have any of your limbs fall through, and be aware that there's all different types. It's going to give you a hard time sometimes. Thank you. It's been another Training Minute. Thanks for watching.